so much. Thank you for joining us one more time on the XY Spark podcast. Today, it is a Wednesday. It's Willpower Wednesday, and you are in tuned the XY Spark podcast, the podcast for men, where we seek to normalize conversations about men's mental health because we know that mental health is not a myth. And our goal and our aim is to seek to create a safe space where we can meet weekday mornings at 5:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to have conversations that will help to improve the mental health of our men and our boys right across the planet. So, wherever you are joining us from right now, if this is your first time tuning in to the XY Spark podcast, we would like you to put a notification in your calendar so that you can be here live to join in the conversation as we continue to create a safe space to break the stamina of the stigma about men's mental health. We want to let you know that right now we are live on TikTok, YouTube, and on the podcast at xyspark.podbean.com. We hope that so far your week has been fantastic. We want to take the time to send a shout out to all those families or friends or associates who had family members who were a part of this scary plane crash in Toronto, in the Toronto airport. We're happy that no lives were lost, and we want to send, all our love, all our compassion, all our encouragement to you, those who were on it, as you recover from that traumatic event. We do hope and we also do pray that you will be well. We're so happy that, no more lives were lost because of all the chaotic things that's been happening now right across the globe. Pardon me. Now, today we want to have a serious conversation with you. Today we're talking about how to manage your insecurities with courage. Managing your insecurity with courage. We also wanted to let you guys know that the XY Spark podcast, we do offer live coaching calls right here in the moment. So as you're listening to our podcast, if you have a question, if you have something that's going on that you'd like us to talk about right here on the podcast, please, you are more than welcome to do so. Welcome to all our guests. If you have joined us live on TikTok, thank you for being here. If you're live on YouTube, thank you for being here. And please like, share, subscribe, invite a friend to come on into the space and be a part of our conversation. So today, we're talking about how to face your insecurities with courage. We wanted to establish one thing, and that is what is an insecurity and what makes us feel insecure. Oftentimes, we feel insecure because we have low self esteem or low self worth. Sometimes we feel insecure because of adult experiences that has left us feeling less than. It has left us feeling like we are not worth it. It has left us feeling like we are not loved. And so we get insecure. Or sometimes our insecurities, they start from early onset, from childhood. And so we grow up feeling insecure because we felt like we never got enough attention at home. We felt like we were slighted most of the time. And so we grew up feeling less than. This morning, we want to talk about how do we face our insecurities with courage. Number one is if you are someone that you feel extremely insecure over and over again, it's a good sign that you have work to do. All right. And sometimes what happens to us as men is that we know we're insecure, but we are fearful to face our insecurity because of what we are going to discover. But we have got to face our insecurities and be open to admitting why or where the insecurity came from. So, why am I insecure? And where did this insecure feeling come from? Right? Facing our insecurity is such a powerful thing that helps with our personal growth and our transformation, right? When we are able to acknowledge that we have insecurity, it's a good stepping stone that we can use as men to grow and evolve. Sometimes as men we're in relationships and we're insecure, but we have to remember that our feelings are not superior to the facts. So it's not about how you feel, it's what are the facts. Does she love me? Do I feel respected? Does she give me any reason to doubt that she's committed in this relationship? All right? How do I feel when she's around? Sometimes, as men, our insecurities cause us to create scenarios in our heads that don't even exist. And because of that, we end up destroying good relationships because we are creating these scenarios based on how we feel and not based on what are the facts. So if you're an insecure man, I need you to reflect on, is this insecurity happening because of how I feel, because I have a hunch, or is this insecurity happening because of the facts that are staring me dead square in the eye? Also, want to ask yourself, okay, this insecurity that I'm feeling right now, should I be using it as a stepping stone towards self growth and healing and recovery? And understanding this, guys, is a powerful thing to do because then it will get us out of our heads so much and get us to sort of sit down and get down to doing the work that's necessary. Remember, we do not want to normalize insecure behaviors in our relationships. The moment we normalize insecure behaviors in our relationship, it hurts us and it hurts those with whom we interact on a day-to-day basis. So facing our insecurity with courage means stepping back and recognizing, what behaviors do I need to change? What thought patterns do I need to confront? What perspective do I have about myself that I need to go back and revisit? So, managing our insecurity with courage means asking the right questions, asking the right questions, and being brutally honest with yourself. For example, if you're a man and you struggle with your weight, standing around every day and saying, hey, this is what is happening with me, I'm insecure because I'm overweight, is not going to fix the problem. All right? And I say this to men, if you know that that's your insecurity, then you have to start doing something about it. Remember, guys, we don't get results as if we sit around and talk. We get results if we put things into action. Remember, guys, knowing is useless without doing. You don't get results based on how much you know. You get results based on how much you do. And as you are committed and invested in doing the work to confront your insecurity, then you will be more courageous. Your low self worth, your low self esteem, those thoughts that you were having, they will change because now you are starting to do the work. You're starting to address the insecurity. So facing your insecurity with courage means recognizing what is happening in your life that needs to be addressed. So it may be, hey, I'm overweight. It may be, hey, I'm too skinny. It may be, I'm always comparing myself with somebody else. It may be that the way I'm functioning in this relationship, I'm too clingy. If you're a man and you're extremely clingy, it could be as a result of your insecurity. You feel that if you're always there and if you always know where your partner is or what she's doing when she's doing it, it will help you feel more secure in the relationship. But that's a you problem, not a her problem. So you have got to work on that insecurity, which means you have got to seek to connect with someone who can help you to move beyond that. So, changing the storyline is an important part of addressing your insecurity. So, facing your insecurity with courage, guys, means you have got to confront it and you have got to get down to the basic. Remember, guys, you have got to challenge yourself. Sometimes, guys, our insecurity makes us feel like, hey, I cannot, I cannot go to this. I'm not good enough, right? Our insecurity is what causes us to have those thoughts of not being good enough. I'm not good enough to be in this relationship. I'm not good enough to be with this person. I'm not good enough. No. And if we are going to face our insecurity with courage, we have got to challenge some of those beliefs that we have that limit us from reaching our true potential. So we have got to challenge those limiting beliefs that we have, right? And when we listen to some of the big names out there, guys like Tony Robbins and guys like I'm forgetting his name now. I'm having a brain freeze here. But these guys talk about some of these things, and one of the big pieces that we want to confront is limiting beliefs. So, what is your limiting belief? And facing your insecurity with courage means identifying your limiting belief, which means it's important for you to be brutally honest with yourself. So I want you to ask yourself that question. What is my limiting belief, or what are my limiting beliefs? And how do I challenge my limiting beliefs so that I can face my insecurity and overcome it, right? So challenging limiting beliefs is a big way to face your insecurity with courage. The next thing that we want to do is, guys, how do we do that? That's the thing. How do we confront our limiting beliefs? Our limiting beliefs, they are fruits of the thoughts and perceptions that we have about ourselves. So we want to sometimes take the time, guys, to write down some of those limiting beliefs, write down some of those irrational thinking patterns that we have. All right. And as we do that, it helps us to heal and to grow and to be better. So, facing your insecurity with courage means being brutally honest with yourself. All right. Facing your insecurity with courage means recognizing the behaviors that you are displaying that's unhealthy. Facing your insecurities with courage means asking for help to improve yourself in the areas that you recognize are not adding or bringing value to your life. Facing your insecurities with courage means taking the time to do introspection and self reflection where you're able to pinpoint specifically what are the main influences that causes you to have these insecure feeling or those insecure behaviors. Facing your limiting beliefs means facing your feelings and working through those feelings. And as men, we're so great at not feeling, right? A lot of us as men, we hate to feel. We hate to have conversations about how we feel or why we feel the way we do. But facing your insecurity with courage means to talk about some of those feelings that you have. I'm feeling discouraged. I'm feeling fearful. I'm feeling frustrated. I'm feeling angry. Why? Right? Ask the big why. And when you ask the big why, you need to explore to find the answer to the big why. Why am I feeling the way I'm feeling about this person? about this event or about the way this relationship is going. Ask yourself that question, ask the big why, and take some time. Slow down and take some time to answer that question. Don't shove it under the rug. Don't ignore that it exists, right? The moment that you're starting to feel your body reacting or responding to that from a place of insecurity is the moment that you're going to need to slow it down and address it. What's going on here? Why am I feeling this way? What's making me react to this thing the way I'm reacting to it, right? And in doing that, you experience self growth and self discovery. You see, guys, the reality is this is that healing is not something that just comes haphazardly. It's addressing it. That's why if you get up out of bed and you're having a toothache, or if you get up out of bed and you feel like you hurt your back or your shoulder or your neck, you go to the physician to get someone who's an expert in that area to address the issue. Same thing in our emotional, psychological selves. If we are mindful of what's going on, then we can address it so that we can heal and move past it. And what happens is so many times as men, we carry these baggages of insecurities from one relationship to the next. We hop, we skip, we jump from relationship to relationship without addressing the issue. And then we ask ourselves, I wonder why, my relationships don't last very long. It could be that you have some insecurity, but you're not willing to face those insecurities. You're running away from them or pretending that they don't exist. And it's hurting your relationship. It's hurting your relationship. Okay. So face your insecurity with courage. The next thing that you need to do in facing your insecurity with courage is practice to be more mindful. Practice mindfulness, right? Practice to, adapt and adjust to being mindful. Allow yourself to live more in the moment, in the present. Sometimes our insecurity causes us to create these different storylines that are futuristic. So we get into fortune telling, we get into overgeneralizing, right? We get into those places where we are creating or bringing scenarios to the surface based on our imagination, based on our own fears. Facing your insecurity with courage means giving yourself permission to be mindful and live in the present, right? Experience the present, all right? Continue to allow yourself to practice living your life mindfully so that you can actually not just exist, but you can actually live and function and enjoy the present moment. So, guys, working through our insecurities and facing our insecurities with courage is going to take work, it's going to take intentionality, it's going to require a committed and a connected mindset connected to your goal, working towards healing and growth and self discovery. So, guys, I just want you to face your insecurity with courage. Consider these points that we talked about today. And, we're almost at the end of our podcast today. We want to say thank you to all those who took the time to join us live. If you are live on TikTok, thank you for being here. We appreciate you. Those who join us on YouTube, thank you. We just would just like to encourage you to please continue to like, share, subscribe, and comment. What was your big takeaway from this podcast? We will be here again tomorrow morning at 5:30 a.m. Mountain Standard Time to continue our conversations where we seek to normalize conversations about men's mental health. This is your boy, your men's life coach Rolando, on the XY Spark podcast. the podcast for men, where we seek to normalize conversations about men's mental health. Thank you for being here, and we will see you again tomorrow morning, same time, same place on the podcast. In the meantime, please remember that at XY Spark, we believe that there is a spark in you. We will see you again tomorrow morning. Have a fantastic day.